Hi everyone, I'm Mark Jacobs, and on Wednesday, October 1st, I uploaded the October 2025 transmission from the collective called Liberation is Coming. Now, I'll put the link down below for you to access it easily. If not, you can go to my YouTube page at Mark of the Soul and find it. It's an interesting video to watch because it has a number of themes, but really, which I highlight in the video, but really it came through, I realized after I was able to study it and be with it, it came through in three arcs. And so, what I'm going to do today is just go through each of those arcs. So, Liberation is Coming came in three arcs. And the first arc was, what just happened? And the second arc is, what's being asked of us now? And the third arc is, where this leads. So let's go back to the first arc. Now, they jumped around a little bit, the collective, so some of the themes are spread throughout. It doesn't go exactly in order, but the arcs are clear. And so in the first arc, I want to talk about a vision that I had that was presented to me. I was out of body. I was in meditation. I was out of body. I was able to see the planet, Earth, and suddenly there was like a ring of fire, but it was really more like a vapor, but more like a kind of like a plow just going around the circumference of the Earth. Not right on the surface, but very close in the atmosphere. And it was creating more like a cavern around the Earth. And as it was opening the Earth, the atmosphere of the Earth, a lot of energy just dispersed. Souls dispersed. There were energy bursts. There was vapor coming out of the seam that had been opened. And this was all the way around. And what came through from the transmission, and what came through even at that time, was that there has been a release of energy, compressed energy from the mother herself, that there has been this preparation now of a higher realm for us to be moving into as we make this shift, this great awakening that's happening now for the planet. So there's preparations happening now that allow for the higher realm to come into form, to come into our awareness, and for us to begin to sense it more readily, to gravitate towards it, to perhaps even see it, as I did, though I don't see it in my day to day walking around, not yet anyway. Many might here shortly, but it's preparing the higher realm, the 5D realm, more so that we can move into it, so that the lower vibration frequencies that want to stay where they are, they can stay where they are. But now there's, I would call it like a parallel plane in a way. It's not exactly that, but it is an opening for us to make it easier for us to pull ourselves up, to move ourselves into this higher dimension. And it's deliberate. It's deliberate. Others have talked about this. I have talked about us moving into a higher realm. The energy on the planet has been coming for some time, some time, some time. It's really been quite, for me, intense. And last weekend, I thought that we might have had a bit of a reprieve. It did feel like that. But now it feels intense all over again. So this vision came to me before the download came for the transmission, and the collective also talks about this that I saw. They wanted me to see it. They were with me when I saw it. So it's preparing the realms of higher frequency. It's setting the stage for our transformation. All right, so it also in this arc, the collective mentions him your own garment. Him your own garment. But I get what they're trying to say. They want you to begin to unravel your hem. So, for anybody who knows sewing, there is a tool that actually takes out the seam of a hem. So that's similar to the tool that was going around the earth. Really wasn't a tool, it was like energy, an energetic tool, if you will. But if you're going around and tearing out your seam, it's dangling, it's hanging there, it's requires mending perhaps. The collective's asking you to take out the old and to hem your own garment with who you are, your authentic self, your unique expression, your power. Hem your garment as you would have it hemmed, as you would live your life as your most authentic, true self. You have to sometimes rip the seams out. You have to look at the obstacles that are in the way. You have to dig deep and figure out what is there. It could be trauma. It could be old beliefs. It could be old systems that we have bought into that no longer resonate for us. It's up for us to do our own inner work, and they go into that more later in a different arc. In fact, very shortly. Um, and then begin to stitch back your own garment. Begin to stitch back the hem of your own garment. It is your garment that you're responsible for, no one else's. Everyone's responsible for their own, but we are responsible for our own shift, our own consciousness, our own awareness, our own effort in rooting out what is holding us back, rooting out what we feel is inauthentic, rooting out what we feel we do not resonate with, and identifying then, taking steps to identify that which is authentic to us. It may not be readily apparent, but as I've talked about in several videos now, and the collective talks about readily because we need to hear it many times, we just take a step, we figure out what feels right, we go off into a fork. We go down this way, we go down that way, we go down this way, we go down that way, we go straight ahead, whatever it is, we figure out what feels right for us. And we do that by experimenting, by exploring, by going within, asking our higher self to guide our way, our guides to help assist us down our path. That's what they're there for. Your higher self knows where to go, and it's not any particular direction it's going to take you off your path per se. It's just going to take you down a different experience, into a different experience. So the first arc was all about the opening, the creating the realms of higher frequency for us to move into, creating an opening within ourselves to examine what is within ourselves, that which keeps us back, what feels most authentic, and doing what we can to move our consciousness into a higher frequency. Now, the second arc is what's being asked of us now. Beyond that, the main theme that came through was really trust yourself. Trust yourself. And that is so important. It was important for me to begin to trust myself many, many years ago, but it's been a process over several decades of remembering to trust myself, of giving myself permission to try different things, do different things, be different in some ways, to try on a different garment, to hem my garment a little bit differently. So it's been important for me to trust myself along the way. There are times I didn't. Most recently, in the last decade or so, or at the beginning of that decade, I didn't trust myself anymore. I didn't trust the guidance that was coming in. I didn't trust my next steps. And so I retreated, and that's part of the process too. But that was not part of this message, was begin to trust yourself. That is the main theme, the main message in this entire message, but of this second arc. Trust your authentic inner power. We all have access to our authentic inner powers. We have many modalities at our disposal. What resonates for us determines what course we take, what step we make. Not all powers resonate for us, so we have to work and decide what it is we wish to express, how we want to be in the world, how we want to contribute to humanity's great awakening, how we want to assist others, perhaps, be of service to the light. But we have to begin to trust ourselves. We can't depend on the trust of another, though that can be helpful if it's unconditional. But we have to begin to trust ourselves. We are only responsible for our own consciousness, but as we move into a higher dimension, as we move into a higher consciousness, we begin to attract into our experience those who are doing that as well. And so there becomes a community consciousness, a community that is raising its consciousness, and that just multiplies out. But you're still trusting yourself to be part of that consciousness, part of that community, bringing your own authentic self to that community, your higher self moving through you and expressing as it came here to express. We're all here at this time for this great shift, to assist all of the planets, perhaps elsewhere, in this shift as we move into this realm that's been created for us, that is now opening to us. Some of those powers could include telepathy, telepathic power. Now, that can be energetic telepathy. It could be being able to read another. That could be from the mind, from the heart, from the energy field. Many of us do that already. What telepathy meant in this moment was not exactly clear, but what I got was the collective mentions telepathic communication as a power we remember and begin to experience again. Don't be surprised by it. So you might find that as you move more deeply into yourself, as you align and attune with Source, with your guides, with your higher self, that you are energetically more sensitive. Being an empath and oversensitive has its issues as well. Not necessarily bad, but sometimes it's hard for an empath like me or a sensitive like me to control the energy that comes in or that latches on or that I'm attracted to or latched onto, even if it's just momentarily. But if you are starting to sense that you know what another person is thinking or doing or wanting to do, what is going to come up perhaps in the future, what has occurred in the past, however that is being read telepathically, energetically, just allow it and be with it. Just notice it. Just notice it and see what happens. I was watching after this download came through and I had already produced the video. I happened to be listening to a podcast, and they too were talking about telepathy as being reintroduced but reignited, reawakened in us in this coming period. It's one of the first things that comes through, and we begin to remember that we are and can be telepathic. We have this power. So I just thought it was an interesting coincidence, which coincidence is another thing that we talk about in just a little bit as well. Another thing that I got in the second arc, what's being asked of us now, is to remember that you are sovereign and that you are not limited. You are not limited to a particular power. You're not limited to one particular expression. Again, you might resonate with one or two or five, however many, but you have at your disposal all that is of the divine, because you are divine. Your higher self is connected to Source, to your guides, to light, to the cosmos. You have access to all that you need right now, all that you need to know, all that you need to experience, all that you need for your highest purpose is available to you right now. You are sovereign in that because you are a whole and complete being as you are in your unique energy field, and you are not limited in your expression. The other thing that came through for the equinox, before the equinox meditation that I did on, I think it was the 21st, I was guided before that by the collective to include the solar plexus chakra, which I did. In that, I work with the chakras. It's now more part of my work than it ever was before. Or becoming aware and balancing the solar plexus chakra right here above your sacral and below your heart chakra. So right here, right below your rib cage, is where you can identify with the power of unique expression. Your authentic power wants to express from here. It's often associated with the color yellow. It's often associated with fire because there's a fire roiling around there. And getting in touch with your solar plexus chakra may mean you need to align from the root all the way to your crown. You can certainly start here and see how it feels. Just tune in, see what's going on there, see what you might want to express that is not maybe being expressed, or that you want to make some adjustments here or there, or you feel like you are stepping into your authentic power, your full expression. Allow that to be, and draw upon that energy center that is right here, your solar plexus chakra. When it is in balance, and when all of your chakras, your major chakra system especially, but there are many more beyond that, your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, and your sacral and your root chakra, your earth star, your soul star, when all of that is aligned and in balance and moving in its center as it in its optimal state, you are really invincible in what you can bring forward and express and who you can be now. So this time is calling us to be all we can be now. It might take a little bit of figuring that out, but I encourage you to do so. I'm still figuring it out, but I really am now in my purpose, in my purpose for being here at this time during this shift. But there's a great expansion within that purpose as well. Many ways to explore and express that purpose. This is just one way right now here sharing with you, which is a joy, by the way. I love it. Okay, so the collective also talks about moving from thought led to heart-led decisions and actions. So now we're bringing a little bit of the heart chakra, the heart center, into this experience as we move through this second arc. What's being asked of us now? Move from thought to feeling, from mind to heart. Allow your heart to lead. Allow your feelings to have more of a role. You can certainly plan with this up here still. But still, is it authentic to you? It's about really aligning your heart with your mind, with your soul, your higher self, your body, form, and your energy field. When all of that is aligned, then manifestation, direction, openings, closings even become really clear. It's always up to us as a sovereign being, as a free will being, to take the step towards our higher self, our higher purpose. But when we do that, As we do that, then we become more trusting of ourselves. We bring in a sense of joy. We are inviting joy into our lives. We're inviting love. We're inviting harmony in ways that we haven't experienced when we are in full alignment, attuned with ourselves, attuned with the outer world. We are embodying that which we are. We are allowing what wants to emerge to emerge. There's nothing more powerful than that. And it all comes from within ourselves. So the other thing, besides moving from our thought to our heart and allowing our heart to lead our decisions and our actions, the collective coined resonance and discernment as research and explore. So that means within yourself, yes, as we've been talking about. But also, they tied it to something very specific. They they asked the question, can the similarity of messages that are coming through in whatever form, whether it's in writing, through channeling, like I do, or like others do, Lee Harris, Ann Tucker, Brenda Womack. I know I'm missing others. There are lots. Paul Selig. But the question from the collective was, is it really a coincidence that the messages that are coming through in all of these different forms from a number of different entities, from other realms, including the galactic, is it really a coincidence that these messages are very similar? They have been for some time. They are similar now. There's no um, there's no great collaboration happening on the Earth plane about these messages. I deliberately do not listen often to other channels, though I do because it's supportive and there's information there that I want to hear that is not necessarily coming through from the collective. But it cannot be a coincidence that all of these messages are beginning to sound very similar. They're expressed in their own unique way from a unique set of entities or entity, but they are similar. And so can that really be a coincidence? No. They say no. I know from here within myself that the answer is no. So that affirms that this shift is happening for me. The shift is happening. We are being supported entirely as we move into this shift. There's a call for all of humanity to wake up, and to awaken to who they are and why they came here, to remember who they are and to remember why they came here. All right, so that is the second arc. What's being asked of us now. Research and explore for yourself those messages, wherever they're coming from. Compare them to other messages, but do your own research. Do your own exploration out there. See what feels right for you, what resonates for you. That's external research in a way. So take your internal discernment and apply it outside of you. See what resonates outside of you from others who you gravitate towards. It may be me, it may be another. Whoever it is, find your support, your community. All right. The third arc, where this leads. Where this leads. Now, the collective and I so far have not ventured into predictive messages, but it seems clear that, and this is what has been coming through for me for a bit of time now, is that humanity has met its moment. We have arrived at a moment where these messages are similar. There's been an opening for the higher realms, to prepare the higher realms for our shift. There is a sense of urgency. There is a lot of energy coming onto the planet. This three-eye atlas is barreling in, that is morphing and shifting. And what is that? I'm not even going to go into that. That's not my thing. Pam Gregory will talk a lot about that. But humanity has met its moment. We are at the threshold of this awakening. And it's a vibration. It's a higher frequency that is calling us to make the leap, to actually make the leap. When it arrives for you, make the leap. If someone offers to assist you in making the leap, grab on to their hand. Ask for help. Be willing to explore what is new for you, what is resonating for you, what wants to come through for you, how you want to be in the world, and lift yourself up, or allow another to assist you as you lift yourself up. No one will do it against your will. The collective talks about that too. Reminds us that we are sovereign, we are of free will. You are the only one who can make the decision or the choice to move into a higher frequency. It could be over time, it could be quick, it could be instantaneous. It could be a little bit at a time, like it's happening the last decade, but the last few months has been a little bit more of an acceleration of that frequency. So, in essence, we're being asked to embrace our multidimensional nature now. That could be any modality or power that resonates for you. So, we're back to that telepathic experience that may be coming through, that may open itself to you. Whatever it is for you, be open to experiencing what comes through for you. So the power, though, is within each of us. So it doesn't come from somewhere else. It is within us, that power, that whatever it is, the modality, the channeling, the writing, the painting, the dancing, the sharing, the bringing together the community, the active revolution that's on the ground, whatever it is your authentic expression. Allow it to come through and begin to step into it. So as always, the collective shares this guidance in the transmission with compassion, with love, a great deal of love, with joy, and with a sense of unity. They do not mince words, that's for sure. They are straightforward. Usually they can meander a bit. Can't we all? They can meander a bit, but they always come back to their point. But they deliver these messages because they are here to assist. And I am one of their vocal channels, one of their channels who writes their messages. That's been true. That's been true for a long time. I am my own channel. I am in agreement and in alignment with this, but I also participate, and I've been doing that for decades in my own way. But now I have the collective with me very clearly and quite connected within me, with me, and others who I haven't named yet, who are together. We are collaborating so that we can share this message. The more who share this message, the more it reaches the masses around the planet. And the easier it might be for us to lift ourselves up into this higher realm. It's a realm where our authentic expression will be respected and honored. It's just normal. It's just normal. We can be absolutely who we are. And it's all part of the whole as we bring our whole being to the new party. All right, I think that will do it for me. So let's see. The first arc, what just happened? The opening, the preparation of realms. The second arc, what's being asked of us now? To trust yourself, to begin to apply and step into your authentic inner power. And then the third arc, where this leads. Humanity has met its moment, and we're moving in that direction collectively, and we have to do that individually. All right, this is our moment. We have met our moment. That's going to do it for me right now. I hope you will take a moment to subscribe to at Mark of the Soul on YouTube. You can also subscribe for free to my Substack newsletter, which is called Many Paths Connected. And I will let you know when my website, Mark of the Soul, is ready to launch, which should be just in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, we'll see you in the other realms. All right. Bye for now.